Hello all, welcome to my channel London Dreams. Today we are going to go through a major announcement made by the UK government with regards to COVID travel arrangements. In this video, we will go through new category which will come into effect within few weeks, countries which have been moved from red to amber, and what you need to know if you are traveling to the UK, if you are fully vaccinated, and if you are not fully vaccinated. So let's go and look at that. What are those things? Okay, so as I said, the major update which UK government has announced today as of 17th September 2021 is they have scrapped the traffic light system which they had earlier. So earlier they had like a red, amber, and green traffic light system, but now they're going to scrap that. And from 4th of October 2021 onwards, there only will be two categories. One will be red, which we already have now, and the other category will be open, which basically is rest of the world. Um, and they also have announced 8 countries which have now moved from red to amber until 4th of October. So if you are traveling from Turkey, Pakistan, Maldives, Egypt, Sri Lanka, Oman, Bangladesh, and Kenya, then there's great news. These countries are now moved from red to amber from 22nd of September, Wednesday, 4 a.m. onwards. So if you are traveling from this country, you do not really have to now pay for the quarantine and live in those paid quarantine. Yes, you heard it right. There is no need to pay for quarantine. All you need to do is you have to quarantine, but you don't have to pay for that. You can quarantine at other locations, not at government paid hotels. So that's a great news. That will save a lot of money for many travelers, and the travel which was restricted. I know so many friends from these countries who are eager to come, but they couldn't come because the paid quarantine which government want us to stay for 10 days was very expensive, was adding to your travel costs. So now you do not have to pay for that, and you can easily just quarantine at home, or at his location, which is as per the government requirement, and you do not have to pay for that. So that's really great news. And you also do not have to do any PCR test if you're fully vaccinated from 4th of October onwards. If you're fully vaccinated, there's no need to do any expensive PCR test. And also the other important announcement is you do not have to now do a pre-departure test, which was also one of the requirement. But if you're fully vaccinated and those countries are now, vaccination programs are approved in the UK, you do not have to do a PDR, as they used to call pre-departure test. And UK has now started to recognize 17 more countries, their vaccination program, which includes Japan and Singapore. So that's really great news. But also, like remember, these announcements are only for the England, right? These announcements have been made by the UK government, but they are only for the England. As most of you know, or maybe not, UK is made up of 4 countries: Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and England. England being one of the biggest countries. So these travel changes is only for the England. So if you are coming from your home country to Scotland, Northern Ireland, or Wales directly, then you please check their travel arrangements and make your travel as per that policy, because these changes will come into effect from 4th of October. There only will be two categories, red and open, and the 8 countries have been moved from red to amber from 22nd of September is only and only for England. Okay, so let's see, and then further, let's see what we need to know if you're fully vaccinated and you're coming from uh, an open country, or if you're fully vaccinated, not fully vaccinated, and you're coming from a different country, what are the things or requirements are there for you? So let's go and look at that. Okay, so as I said, let's see what we need to know If you are traveling from rest of the world from 4th of October onwards and you are fully vaccinated, and what you need to know if you are traveling from the rest of the world and you are not fully vaccinated, then what you need to do. There are for both of these categories, fully vaccinated and not fully vaccinated, there are different requirements which have been announced today. So let's focus our attention on the first column here in the table, which is fully vaccinated. So if you're fully vaccinated and you're coming from the rest of the world, so yeah, so my emphasis is on the rest of the world. You're not traveling from a red country, but you're traveling from countries which are categorized as open or the rest of the world, and you're fully vaccinated and your vaccination program has been approved in the UK, and you do have a document or maybe a digital proof to prove that. As you can see in the bottom of the table, I've said those document or digital uh, information should have at least minimum of following. It should have your first name and your surname. It should have your date of birth. It should also have the vaccine brand. So, i.e., if you are being vaccinated by AstraZeneca or by Pfizer or by Moderna, whichever you have, it should have its name on it. It should definitely have the date of vaccination for every dose. So if you have been vaccinated, fully vaccinated, you should have received 2 doses. So when did you get your first dose and the date when you got the second dose? And you should also have the country where you got vaccinated. So these are the minimum requirement that you need to prove that you are fully vaccinated before you are traveling to the country, to the UK. And if you are fully vaccinated and you have this document to prove, then what you need to do is what I'm going to say in the first column on the left. So you must book and pay for your day 2 COVID-19 test, which you will take after you arrive in the England. Okay, you also need to complete your passenger locator form, which is a standard. You just need to do that anytime within 48 hours before you arrive in the England. You must take the COVID-19 test, which you booked before coming on the day 2 after you arrive in the England. And as I said before, you do not need to do any pre-departure test. That's a great news. You do not need to do a day 8 COVID-19 test, which is also great news. And you do not need to quarantine at home or in the place you are staying for 10 days after you have arrived in England. So basically, there is no quarantine from 4th of October 2021 because you are fully vaccinated, and in the country where you were vaccinated is vaccination program is authorized and approved by the UK government, and you do have a document or a digital proof to prove that. And those are the minimum things should be on the document to say that you are fully vaccinated. Now let's focus on the second category, which is you are traveling from the rest of the world, which is I the open category, but actually you are not fully vaccinated. So basically you are either partially vaccinated, which means you have taken only the first dose, or you are not vaccinated at all, or you are coming from a country which is an open country, and the vaccination program is not authorized by the UK government. So what you need to do, so very first, you must take a pre-departure test 3 days before you travel to England. So as I said, in the case where you are fully vaccinated, there was no need to take the pre-departure test, whereas here where you're not fully vaccinated, you have to take a pre-departure COVID-19 test. You must book day 2 and also day 8 COVID-19 test, which you have to take when you come to England after your arrival. And you must complete the passenger locator form, which is the standard, which you need to do 48 hours before you arrive in the England. And you must, as I'm saying, you must quarantine at home or in the place you are staying for 10 days because you are not fully vaccinated. And you must take your test on day 2 and on day 8 after you have arrived in the England. So these are quite kind of like um, tests that you have to and the steps that you have to take if you're not fully vaccinated. So yeah, as you can see, there are quite two different requirements if you're fully vaccinated and if you're not fully vaccinated. So what are the requirement if you are actually coming from a red country? So let's have a look. Okay, so as I said, so if you are traveling from red country from 4th of October onwards, then what you need to do, and I think, as we said, if even if you are fully or partially or not vaccinated, I think the rules for all of these three category are not different because you are coming from a red country. So even if you're fully vaccinated, you still have to do exactly those things as compared to the person who's not vaccinated because you are coming from red country, unfortunately. So what you need to do, you need to book a pre-departure COVID-19 test, which you need to do 3 days before you travel to England, and you have to pay for a quarantine hotel package, um, including two COVID-19 tests, which is very expensive and not, I know, the feedback I have for the quarantine hotel package and the hotels where people are living is not really great. But unfortunately, such is the world. And also you must complete your passenger locator form, so anytime in the 48 hours before you actually arrive in the England. So these are pretty straightforward, and nothing much has really changed for the red countries. So if you are actually traveling from any of the red countries, unfortunately you still have to pay for the quarantine, and it can all add up to the travel cost. So yes, not much is going to change from 4th of October 2021 for red countries. So guys, I hope you have liked my video, and it has added and given you some information as per the latest changes which UK government has made with regards to COVID travel only for the England. Again, I'm emphasizing is only for the England. If you are traveling to other countries, you really need to check, like for example, Scotland, Northern Ireland, or Wales. You have to check their travel arrangements and then make your travel as per their requirements. So if you have liked my video, I would request you to please subscribe, like, and share my channel and the video as much as you want. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to make it. I have advertised my email in the beginning of the video, which is reach2london@gmail.com. You can email me directly as well if you have want to ask any questions. But please subscribe and like my channel. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.